Alright, in this video I'm going to show you a brief overview of the animation layers. Later we can get into more complex examples, but I just want to give you an idea of how to use them and what we might use them for. Alright, so in this example I've just done a very simple cycling animation of a bouncing ball. Of course, if we were referring to accurate physics, this ball wouldn't keep bouncing at the same height. This is purely just a quick example to show you guys how the layers work. So in my animation graph editor here, I've just got a cycling animation, which is viewing infinity so that I can see how it's moving before and afterwards. So you would set that to pre-infinity cycle and post-infinity cycle in order to see this, and then just make sure view infinity is on. Alright, so say I've got this bouncing ball. Maybe somebody in my studio has created this cycle and now I need to apply it to my shot. So it isn't currently set up to really be moving in any direction or to be interacting with the environment, it's just bouncing on the spot. So now let's say in my shot I've got this staircase and I need my sphere, my ball, to bounce down the stairs. Alright? So I could, of course, in normal circumstances, just block the animation, make keyframes at the top of the stairs and each stair down. But a simpler way to make adjustments to a cycle is to add another layer on top of it. So basically what I'm going to do here, if I just hide the stairs again, is I'm going to select the object that I want to make a layer for, and then down here in the channel box on the right you'll see anim. And just as we have display layers here where I have put my sphere, my ball, and the stairs, we've got an anim layer. So I select my object on the right here, I'll create a layer from selected, and I'll just name it ball stairs, whatever I'd like to name it. So now another thing you can see is there's this little green dot and this layer is highlighted. Along the timeline we now don't have any keys, and in the graph editor we don't have any keys showing. If I click base animation, I'm going to see my keyframes show up again on the timeline and my animation show up here. Back to the ball stairs, those are gone. So what this is essentially giving us is a fresh slate to add adjustments on top of the currently existing animation. I can access this animation at any point to see what I'm doing here and what's happening. But now we're going to make some adjustments so that we can animate on these stairs. So I'm just going to turn the stairs back on. Alright, so there's the ground position. Now, on my ball stairs layer, again, this is the pose where the ball should be contacting the ground. I just move to that frame. And then I'm going to move my ball up to be contacting the top of the stairs and press S. So this sets a key, and this will be an additive change to my animation. So if I play it now, I'm going to see the same animation we had before, but it's going to be offset to be at the top of the stairs. Alright, so this can obviously get more complex. That was just a quick way of showing you how that works. And if I am to mute this layer at any point, we're going to get back to exactly what we had before, which was our base layer animation at its original position. Alright, I'll unmute that. Okay, so what we want now is basically to be bouncing down the stairs. So at this frame, on the second bounce, I want it to be down here and contacting the stair. So now you can see I've got some additional animation curves going on here. So this is my Y, which controls us up and down, and this is my Z, which is the forward and back. So what I might consider is that if the ball is moving down the stairs, it's probably going to be moving left to right at a fairly even pace. So I'm going to just make a linear pre and post infinity. So what that will give us now is that the ball will continue to move to the right as time goes on, but it's only going to do the one bounce down here, and then as you can see, we're no longer changing anything after that, so the ball would continue to bounce at this height along, and I'll just show you what that looks like. Alright, so the reason it's not moving down further is all we've got here is moving from this position, this height, to this height, those two keyframes, and after that it maintains level, so it's going to stay at this height while still using the underlying animation. And because of this direction, I've chosen to make it linear. It's going to continue to move to the right at an even pace all the way along. Alright, so what I generally like to do in a situation like this, where we have a specific place that the object needs to land on, this works really great with walk cycles, because then you don't have to animate a walk cycle up and down stairs. You can just use your base walk cycle and make adjustments. But I very much like to set the keyframes on the cycle on the same frame that the contact position would happen on. So for instance, I'm not going to go to here and decide that's where I want to start keying the ball to be lower. It might work out that it lands roughly on the stairs by the time it gets to here, but in this case it didn't, and you're doing a little bit of a wild guess. So I would always make the key on the frame that it's actually contacting the ground. And now what you can see as well is, looks like the ball is starting to come a little bit off of the stairs, and maybe that's not exactly what I want. So I can come to the left and right motion, and I can just tweak this up so that it's more centered on the stairs. Alright, so I'll just carry on going through here. There's my contact again. Alright. So now if I play through, I've got it bouncing all the way down, and once we got to the bottom of the stairs, I didn't add any more drops in the Y position after that, so it should continue to just bounce and move to the right as we go forward from there. Alright, so now we've got our ball moving down the stairs without destroying or having to adjust the base animation at all. And of course we can make additional changes to this if we say we want it to go down to here. And then we want it to slowly start slowing down. Which again isn't really correct physics, but just an illustration of the tool here. So we've got the ball coming down, and then it starts to slow. All the while, if I mute this and remove the stairs, I've still got my same animation happening underneath. So nothing's broken with that. Everything maintains what it needs to be, and I can always turn on and off my layer so that I can see what I have in my underlying animation.